The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
In a world fueled by distortion, diabolical growls, and questionable digestive decisions, three brave idiots stand to wade through the steaming pile of metal releases each week. From power rumbling breakdowns to riffs that'll make your intestines cry for mercy. We flush the weak and salute the strong. This is Metal Hammer of Doom, after all.
On the one hand, I really like that intro. On the other, it completely leaves Mick out. Because when I did it, Mick wasn't really a part of the show. So now I have to make it for brave idiots with questionable digestive decisions. So, you ready to make that part of your internet identity there, Mixter?
Oh, yeah. I will clip it and then make sure everyone knows.
That's me. That's me blowing up the toilet.
I don't need enough fiber.
The auspicious way to start the show. Welcome to the Metal Hammer of Doom. I'm your mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and we're back after about last year we did was December. We talked Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Tonight, Jesse's back, Mick's back, Robert's back. Hello, gang.
Hello.
So tonight we're gonna do. We're gonna look at my very first AI slop album, Fra Diavlo: Recipes for the Damned. And I will get into how that came about, why I did it in the first place, like what started it. Since that album came out, I started working on it in July of last year. It came out at the beginning of August, and I have since dropped a lot more music since then. Like, I think I'm 4 albums deep in like a half a dozen EPs and singles. So this started off like, I'm going to do this only quarterly, like every couple of months. And then I ran into the band Vinyl guy, and I was like, he drops a song every day. Like I'm behind. Mm-hmm. So I guess there's no, once you have, a hold of the AI slot machines, there's no stopping you. So I have since put out a lot more since then. But we're going to focus mostly on just like how this all got started and what this is. So in the meantime, let's get some introductions going. Jesse, how's your how things going with you?
That's going all right. We are in the process of going through a virus here in the house. It's always fun.
The crud spreading even in Ohio, eh?
It's not been fun. Valentine's Day, Mindy woke up and she was in a lot of distress. We'll just put it that way. And she had gotten what my son had last weekend. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. I feel like I might have, but my son used to have night terrors. And it was really when he was younger, like he would go to bed and then like within about half hour after going to bed, he would wake up and he would be in this crazy state of like there, but not there. Like he was somewhat semi-conscious and like you could ask him questions. How many fingers am I holding up? But then he would talk like nonsense. Mm-hmm. And what we started to realize is that, when he was younger, if he went to bed like and he was sick or something like that, that would trigger one of these night terrors from happening, right? So now what's supposed to happen as you get older, that's supposed to go away. And it did for him. Like it went away. We haven't had one until let's try this. Last time we had one was 2017. And of course he's he's going to be 60. He turned 16. It was on his birthday. And he went to bed, laid there for an hour, woke up, and then he was like he was like, Dad, I'm outside of my body. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm serious, dude. That's the kind of stuff he was saying. Like he would say some crazy whacked out stuff. And then I'd sit him down and I'm like, okay, just tell me what's going on. And it's really scary. It makes you Now it's like, are you on drugs or what are you doing, man? It's not that. But his mental state in this.
Picturing you shaking this poor child. Where did you get the drugs?
Are you?
Why did you care?
I legit asked him. I said, "Are you on any substances, son?" But I knew what the answer was. I mean, he'd been home all day, but he was sick, and it triggered one of these night terrors where he just kind of wakes up, and it's pretty frightening. So anyway, good story is the next day, the Super Bowl, he was fine. So aside from getting over whatever was left, so the wife has it now. So yeah, I'm just waiting for my turn because Colton tonight, my youngest son, he's like, I don't feel so good. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Here we go again. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for my turn. Of course, it'll be the work week when I have to take like 2 days off because I'm getting sick. But yes, the crud has made its way up here and we are trying to avoid I stocked up on Gatorade yesterday because I know the dehydration is going to happen.
It's a weird way to start the show. I mean, like, we all tell stories. I will certainly tell my story once we were around back to me, but I was like, all right, it was a guy, I went to a concert. Oh my God, I had to mow the lawn. My child has night terrors, which were cured by this.
Welcome to my world.
It's going to be like, damn, Jesse. Like, well, good night, everybody. All right, everybody's fucking muted now. Unmute yourselves.
Aha!
That happened the other week too, where I was talking to somebody and I hit I hit one of the buttons and it muted him. I think it was Jason. It like fucking muted him forever. Anyway, Mick, save me, Mick. How are you?
You have a night terrors, Mick?
Tell me about your night terrors, Mick.
But I actually went to a concert recently. Let's make this a little more normal in the podcast. But anyway, it was a Pink Floyd cover band, and I don't know if I talked about it last year or mentioned it
Was
in the
this
show.
something that like you were gonna do that Dorian wanted me to do a special show for?
Yeah, so last year, and I didn't know it was the same cover band until I went. But we were in charge of making videos for the background. So once they're playing these songs, then they can line up and there's no copyright happening or whatever. And so we ended up getting fired from that and we didn't go. So go to the show and like when we were working on it, we didn't touch the wall yet. So that whole like intro the beginning of the concert, I was jamming. They were really good. They had a bunch of people on stage, and it was fantastic. And then Dark Side of the Moon hits, and I'm looking at the screen, and I'm going, that's my video.
Ooh.
That's the stuff we made.
Uh-oh.
So me and Dorian haven't spoken to each other since I left, but I had to try to call him and be like, hey, so they're still using our shit. And he said he'd look into it, but that's all I could do is just tell him.
Yeah. I don't want to spend too long on this, but just to sort of relate to it in some way. I think Jesse was telling me that now basically anything that you put on TikTok or any user created content that's out there is now like wherever you distribute it, it's theirs. Like they can, like once they have it, I think legally they're protected to use. They're protected to use it. I want to say specifically that's on TikTok. Like I upload all my essays and stuff there, and clips, just a clip of the music, and they were like basically they can do what they want with it now. So if I put up an essay talking about Project 2025, and they want to use it to sell fucking pizzas, I guess so celebrate the end of your rights with this 12-inch pizza.
So, yeah, that's not the only 12 inches they're going to give you.
Waka waka. I don't want to hit any more buttons and mute everyone. Well, all right.
I mean, bottom line is I did have fun. They were very good. They played well. And I actually have a couple more concerts lined up. Like March, I'm seeing Black Label Society with Zach Sabbath.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then I think it's May, Primus is coming to town.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my
I think they were
goodness.
coming to Tampa too. Well, there's a bunch of shows I wanted to see. I had to narrow it down. I'm already taking my kids to go see Guar in
Yay!
Alabama. I told you guys about that. My 50th birthday is coming up in June 2nd to be specific, and the weekend prior to June 2nd, because like that's the middle of the week. There are 2 concerts coming to Tampa, both at the same outdoor amphitheater. And I decided that's how I wanted to spend my 50th birthday. Last year, my 49th birthday, I took both my kids to Metallica, one on each night. This year, it just happened to work out this way. I'm taking my girlfriend. I'm going to work backwards. I'm taking my girlfriend to go see the Black Crowes on the Sunday prior to my birthday because she can handle the Black Crowes. It'll be a good show. It'll be a good crowd. Because we're old and I no longer want to sit on grass or have to rent chairs that are very low to the ground. And between the 2 of us, it'll look like the fucking hippos from Fantasia. It'll just not be good.
Oh my god!
No, thank you. So, like, I'm gonna spend a little extra money and be an adult at 50 years old and sit in seats for the Black Crowes. But I made the same decision for the second concert, and I want you to know this is separate from anything having to do with the Super Bowl, Turning Point, Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, Captain Kirk, any of it. Just I wanted this as my own thing because I happen to like the guy, and despite the fact that everyone's trying to fucking bury him now because he's on the wrong team, and everyone's super fucking sensitive, I am taking my kids, especially my liberal LGBTQ Free Palestine daughter, to go see Kid Rock.
Oh God,
that'll be an experience.
When I took her to see Motley Crue a few years ago, in her early stages of feminism, at like 10, she fucking the face she made during Girls was for a while my screensaver.
That is funny.
And so we have like a whole thing planned where basically she's like the many faces of Lily at the Kid Rock show, and it's just all her making a sad face, like, she wants to spend time with her father. She wants to celebrate his 50th birthday. She will tolerate the Kid Rock. So, other than going to see like midget wrestling, I may end up going to see this year's Freaks on Parade, which is Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, and The Who.
Oh yeah,
and Ministry. So it depends on what money looks like by this summer if I'm going to actually do that or not.
We're tired of it.
We're tired of it. Fucking the only
Nickelback
that band anymore.
Nickelback. I wouldn't give you a penny back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're the only people that remember that album.
That's right. And like a little meth machine to get your day going.
Of course, that's what I wake up to. Fuck Folgers. I don't have an 8-foot tall hole in my walls like Jesse does. That's the one thing. When you said night terrors, I'm like, that man is the size of a linebacker now.
Dude,
was it Caleb or was it Colton?
No, it was Caleb. It was
God,
Caleb.
the whole story just changed in my mind. He's just walking like Godzilla through your house.
You guys have no idea what was going through my head. I'm like, if he starts doing something crazy, I'm gonna have to like figure out a way to take this boy down. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
You have to physically restrain him.
Yeah, when you said 16, I'm like, oh, it's that one. It's Mongo.
Yeah, it's Mongo.
He's got to recreate the scene. He's gonna blow both the doors out of the saloon. For me, I did not get to go to a concert because the girl I'm seeing had Ghost tickets. Which, by the way, me seeing Ghost is cursed. This is the second time Ghost tickets were in my possession, and I didn't get to go because it decided to fucking ice 2 inches.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so Ghost canceled because it was like 1.5 to 2 inches of ice. Nobody's fucking driving in that.
Shoot anyone in the face? Oh, that.
Yeah. The one that kills people on accident.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, the one that
fucking like icicle, like ice men just shooting people in the head. It's like, oh god, it's ice. Now I'm
this
thinking
sitting-
of fucking Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
like they're sitting around uptown Charlotte just trying to create another trap. But so I've still never seen Ghost live.
I saw them open for Iron Maiden a bunch of years ago. They're good.
See,
Their
that's
show's fantastic. It's like theater.
Yeah.
oh yeah. I'll get to hang out with all the Disney adults. And Rhea Ripley fans, which also are Disney adults.
Yeah.
That's something I realized when we went to a wrestling con last July. It was called The Gathering, but not the Gathering of the Juggalos. It's a bunch of
That's
it was initially on like NWA, the wrestling, not the musical group, mind you.
Gotcha.
Mostly NWA centric. And there's a couple there's a couple women I would say that I'm just like, yeah, no, they only care about Rhea Ripley. That's literally the only thing in wrestling they want is the ripped muscle mommy that they wish to be. that they never shall. And I thought about that because I went into a hot topic on this past week with my lady friend, and there was like 6 of her shirts and about
wait,
6.
back up a second. Do you have a new girlfriend?
Not girlfriend. She's
Boyfriend?
made that clear.
She's made that clear.
She's made that clear.
She's made that clear. She's like, "Oh, I'm not ready yet." So
She's a spicy.
I'm just here so I don't get fined, I guess. Like we did Valentine's Day stuff yesterday. It was fun. But
Okay,
yeah,
so you're in a platonic romantic relationship. Got it. Just keep going.
I feel like I'm dangling on the line, but she won't listen to this, so I can say that.
God.
Yeah, she does not care. Like she doesn't care about heavy metal at all. Like she likes Ghost, but otherwise she's more of a Swiftie, which I guess you can kind of say that's kind of between Ghost and Sleep Token. That's kind of the fan base. Which I did see Sleep Token before they were cool. So there's that. I always have that story to hold over all the people that walk into my work, and I'm like, aha! Look at this picture.
I get
Look
to
at this
see that
picture.
interaction. Ty, can you point me to where like the 2x4s are? He was like, "Did you know I saw Sleep Token before anyone else?" Are you the original fucking Green Day fan? I just wanted to do home renovations.
Hey, I saved that for when they're wearing the Sleep Token shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I make sure I don't just like walk up to every
You're not like
customer.
harassing like random like middle-aged black women who happen to be coming in for tools. Like I saw Sleep Token. Yeah, like hey, look at this. I saw Sleep Token in a club for $25, and they're like, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to need to speak to your manager.
Like I'm uncomfortable now.
And that's what my lady friend said. I'm kidding.
Wah, wah.
Oh, wah, wah, wah. I missed that clip. It's a living.
A couple of months back, I'm going to try to get. There's a lot of detail here, and when I actually told your National Nightmare why we hadn't hung out for 6 months, I went into much more detail. But essentially, the last time I hung out with your National Nightmare, we went to go naked swimming, and she didn't have her fucking ID. Her ID was in another town because on her best day, she's a dingbat who loses stuff on an ongoing basis. And my favorite part about that is I've taken her to a bunch of different things, and she's done stuff like leave her purse at a gas station. She's lost things. She's had she's not the only one that's done this to me, but she's had the wrong backpack for to get in certain places. Sometimes you have to have a clear one, things like that.
Yeah.
Erica's even made that mistake. So I'm just kind of used to it, but I figured it was. I always assume now that it's like an Axis 2 manipulative, like personality disorder thing that's just being aimed at me. No, apparently she's just brain dead, and she does it to everybody. So she's telling me that she went to Miami for her birthday with one of her many male friends, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, I totally left something at the gas station, and I left my ID somewhere at the Hard Rock." At the Hard Rock Casino. I was just like, oh, so it's not just me that I'm not special. She was like, not even a little. Like, oh, good. I feel much better now. But yeah, so the last time I hung out with her was probably last summer. And like I said, she didn't have her ID, so we couldn't get in. So I basically drove an hour plus And then we finally get to the place just to be shooed away because we can't get in. So then I drove back home again. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. And so shortly thereafter, I had a whole bunch of stuff happen in my personal life. Not to mention, I got super sick. Like, if you guys remember fall of last year, I was nasally and congested and coughing all the time. Like, I thought I had cancer again. Turns out it's just diabetes and high cholesterol. Who knew? But that got fixed around Thanksgiving. But like I said, I was knee deep in Erica stuff by that point, so I wasn't hanging out with anybody. But it's a new year and things are settled. So I reached out to her Christmas. I just said Merry Christmas to her. And then I started seeing something showing up on like her social media about this show, this internet show. And I kind of ignored it because it's her and who knows what it was. But then we kind of started minimally messaging back and forth. And then finally she broke the ice and she was like, am I ever going to see you again? After like 8 months. And I was, and I was like, I suppose. And by that point, like I said, things were settled enough in the house that I was like, okay, I should probably go out and have other friends again. So I was like, well, I'll give her, because Jesse knows I'm always willing to give the National Nightmare another chance. See if she can become the national, I don't know, what would be the opposite of nightmare, I guess.
Daymare?
The national daymare, sure.
Yeah, there you go.
The national daydream?
There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, like fucking Cody Rhodes. He's, instead of the American dream, he's the American nightmare. It's
The Negro icon.
It's like that's right. All 12 inches of him. So I was like, well, give her another chance. Worst that'll happen is I'll waste yet another night and, in a history of wasting my nights. So we made a plan and I hung out with her. We ended up going to see another tribute band, a cover band called $1 Billion Babies. They are a tribute to Alice Cooper. And yeah, she's fucking cleaned up. Like, she's working. She's got all the derelicts and ne'er-do-wells out of the house. Just her and the kids. She's correctly medicated. It was so funny. She was just like, I was afraid you would find not Wacky Jackie boring, and I'm like, no, not Wacky Jackie is great. Wacky Jackie gets left on the side of the fucking road as I go speeding away. So we had a great night. But the reason why I brought all that up is, other than to make Jesse worried about me that I'm hanging out with the National Nightmare again. I was telling her, I was listening to all of because I can't play it around anyone else. I can't play it around my kids. They revolt on me. And even the girlfriend's like, could we listen to something that you didn't create? Please, could we listen to like a real musician? Just a little. I started playing for her a lot of passive-aggressive pansexual peanut butter stuff. Because every song is a story, Mick. Every single song is a story. And she thought it was the most hilarious fucking thing she'd ever heard. She was like, this is amazing. It's like, and it's like, how you describe fucking Caleb when you play something for him? It's like, this is AI? This is AI? Like,
every single time.
Like
right.
Fucking Scooby-Doo. This is AI? That was fucking her. The entire car ride on the way back from the OCC Roadhouse. She was like, this is you? This is AI? Rocky? And I was like, yes, Scooby. It's fucking AI. And so she's like, so you can take like any cockamamie story and just make a song out of it. I'm like, yes, have you met my friend Jesse? Like, he takes every mundane detail of his life and becomes a fucking opera. So that's like the whole idea behind the passive-aggressive pansexual peanut butters, is I needed an avenue that wasn't Fra Diavlo, which is a little bit more structured and contained, to just be whatever musical style I want to play with, whatever. Like, I did a song, Alexis and I did a review of the Muppets, and I made a joke about what if Crazy Harry had converted to Islam and was like all peaceful now, but because it's Crazy Harry and Islam, every time he walks in the room, people think he's gonna blow something up. And they're like, wouldn't that be funny? Haha. And I pitched that to the AI, Jesse, and the AI was like, You're not making a fucking song.
You're not wrong.
You're not making a fucking song about Muslims blowing stuff up.
You're like
around them.
It rejected you outright, huh?
It
was like, this sounds like hate speech.
Yeah, it's like, I will not. The AI has much more ethics than I do. I will not be a part of it, sir.
It's like
I had to massage that song a lot to get it made.
I'm not getting canceled for this.
Sir, this is open AI, not the fucking Proud Boys. So I did like a whole like Arab sounding world music song about a guy who like converts to Islam, and everyone's afraid of this guy because he used to be really into fireworks, and now he's not. But people have institutional memory of things, so that's what the song's about. So I want, like I said, I wanted an avenue to like just play with different musical styles and different stupid ideas that I have, or to make fun of my girlfriend and her family. Either one.
Yeah.
So everybody else is like, no, please don't song us. It's a verb. Don't put us into a song, sir. We'll behave. We'll do what you ask. Not Jackie. Not the National Nightmare. The National Nightmare was like, why are there not more songs about me? Why did you forget about me?
How dare you?
So she sent me a voice note of a bunch of different ideas, and that became the song National Nightmare. And then because I just hung out with her again, I had a lot of memories like come to the front of my head. When we met her, there was 90,000 people living in her house. Like more people in her house than in the Silverdome. So this was between the kids and the adults. It was a madhouse. But it was like the super duper like adult party house for a very brief window of time. So I wrote a song about that called Jackie's House. But she's like, I insist you spell it Jacqui. Like Jacqui. And I'm like, sure. So that became Jackie's House. And then she was like, will you do me a favor? There's something very personal. I would like it made into a song. Will you do that for me? And I said, sure. So Jackie has 3 songs now, Jesse.
Oh wow. All right.
They'll all be out. All 3 of them will be out one a week, but the last one will be out March 8th.
I was gonna say I saw the artwork for 2.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did a 3rd one today.
Okay.
How good did the National Nightmare one come out?
Yeah.
Like you've never, I guess you've only seen her in like whatever pictures I posted publicly, which I've stopped doing. But but I'll tell you what, that National Nightmare one that's just AI generated based on what I described. Fucking spit an image of her from the back. So all of that to say, that is the 2nd AI musical project that I did, not counting the Radulich and Broadcasting Network stuff, which is what comes out of sessions. So that'll transition us into what we're going to talk about tonight, and I'll give you guys an opportunity to like jump into the conversation, but let me start with this. So years and years and years ago, my friend Kat and I were making a joke. We had gone to see I can't remember which concert we went to because we went to a bunch, but for the sake of argument, it was Clutch in Washington, D.C. So we were just all hanging out in a hotel because this is like an overnight trip. And we were making jokes as we are wont to do. And we were talking about death metal. And somebody said, wouldn't it be funny to start a band called Fra Diavlo and have it just be death metal? And all you do is just read recipes from a cookbook. Because nobody understands any of the lyrics of death metal, right? That's the joke. So it doesn't really matter. So, like, if you've ever listened to Cannibal Corpse, like, Jesse's listened to Cannibal Corpse because we made you. Obviously, you have Cooper. Mick, are you into, like, that really growly death metal, Cookie Monster vocals?
I've listened to them a couple times, yeah.
Okay, so you know how most of their lyrics are unintelligible?
Yeah.
Like, there are times he's legit just going, like fucking Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah.
And it's
kind of sounds like a cat sometimes.
Yeah. What did you just say? I said I come alive in the darkness. Oh.
Obviously.
And there's a couple of other like death metal bands that are just utterly unintelligible out there. So that's what we were playing with. And because this is over 20 years ago and we don't have the ability to actually do that, it just stayed a joke. Then, I don't know if you know him, but Jesse Starcher came into my life. And he said, have you heard of Suno.ai? Tag in for just a second, Jesse, and explain how we got from you discovering this version 1 to Time to Eat to Queen of the Night. That we did it right here on the Metal Hammer of Doom.
Yeah, you might have to correct me if I got some of the history wrong, because I remember Queen of the Night for sure. Obviously, Suno comes around, and I think I am introduced to it in 2023. I want to say so, about 2.5 years ago, and this was that version 2.5, and at that point, I was just having a good time listening to some of the crazy stuff that was getting created, and making some of my own stupid stuff up. And then I, of course, came up with the idea, like, I'm just going to start making songs about like food that we're eating, because I'll go upstairs and I always have some kind of stupid thing that goes through my head, like, baked beans, baked beans, baked beans. That's just what you kind of do as your dad.
Quick tag. You have to know something about Jesse. Jesse is 100 million years old. And he does, and he does the grandpa thing of everything has to be a song. So he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and he's like, boot scoot, gotta go to poop poop.
Yeah, right. That's what happens.
You know your granddad. Your granddad just sings everything. That's Jesse.
So I finally, I'm like, well, shoot, I'm gonna do some songs about the food that we eat, and using some of the stupid stuff that I say. So that becomes Time to Eat, which is about, I don't know, 10 songs, I think, that I'd created in version 3 and 3.5, if I remember correctly. We then start to do, what led us to do Queen of the Night? Because I remember it was just...
You hadn't told us about it yet. Like, so Queen of the Night happened first, and then a few months later, I made you come on, and like we dedicated an entire segment to reviewing Time to Eat. So basically, like during one of the iterations of the Metal Hammer of Doom jukebox, Jesse's produced segment was, let me teach you guys how to make a song with Suno.ai. And here's me, who prefers square tires to round tires and won't accept anything, won't accept any new invention. It's like, make a song with AI. This is dumb. I don't want to do this. And then Jesse's like, you can totally make fun of people doing it. I'm like, oh, in that case, here's a story about my ex-wife.
Yes.
I was a little bitter. So Jesse just like, give me. He's like an improv comic. He's like, someone shouts something at me, and I'm just like, throw up at a sex party. So he's like, okay, here we go, and tag back in.
Yeah, so we were using ChatGPT for lyrics. Suno was kind of limited at that time. You had to do all sorts of crazy stuff. We then created Queen of the Night, which was a shot at, just like you said, kind of some of the stuff that you were going through.
Yeah.
And I mean,
would never do that now.
No, certainly not.
I don't have an
You've grown as a person.
I don't have an entire band dedicated to that sort of thing.
So, I mean, that kind of bleeds into, that starts to become Sessions. Sessions was a lot of fun, where we were using, Radulich and Network. Let's try it again. Radulich and Broadcasting Network, basically memes that have been created throughout the years and turned them into songs.
Yeah.
And Suno, of course, got better. But during that period of time, you come up with your idea and you're like, okay, I want to start using, I don't know at what point you were like, you jumped in and started paying for Suno, because I know at some point you had to have, right? Like you're not using the free version still, correct?
Yeah, no. So if I started this, I don't think I was really using it all that. I would use it to like occasionally make a new theme for the podcast, or if I go back and look through like my early Suno stuff, I wasn't using it all that much.
Gotcha.
But then I remember, like, just by that point we had been doing sessions for more than a year, because we were doing it like every other month. And so the bug started to bite me hard, I would say early part of 2025. When we really got rolling with sessions and we got kind of out of the let's just redo the theme mode that we were in. We started doing like the one about The Wire, the one about Lord of the Rings, the one about Captain America's shield. Like, I was having so much fun with this. I'm like, I don't want to stop. I want to do my own thing now. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make an album. And I think at this I also started to notice that there was a lot more AI slop showing up on Spotify.
Yeah.
And it was starting to show up a lot on YouTube. And I'm like, well, I'm late to the party. Let me start. So let me catch that train as it passes.
Yeah. Hanging on to the ass end, caboose.
Yeah. trying to grab a hobo who might be on that train.
Hey, wait a second now.
Come get me.
Oh no, that's a needle.
So I was like, okay, I want to do my own AI music project. What is it going to be? And then I remembered the joke that Kat made, and I'm like, oh, that'll be a really funny thing. That'll make me distinctive from most of what else is out there. Little did I know, distinctive doesn't really matter. But let me tell you my story. Like, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'll take like food jokes and wordplay, and that'll be a song, and won't I be fun and distinctive? And then I didn't realize I was competing with the ram it up my shitter guy. So oopsie, who knew? The 50 different brain rot bands that are out there, and all like the fake cover music. So anyway, little innocent me in my tutu with my lolly, just thinking that I could make a difference. So I sat down with ChatGPT and I'm like, here's the prompt. This is what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna walk you through this, and I'll give you guys a chance to like react as I go through this story. Because it was really a learning process for me. ChatGPT is a really great tool. You have to know how to use it. If you just start dumping ideas into it, it will go off in directions that are not anticipated, and you will not get what you want out of this thing. It'll be really frustrating. You have to kind of step by step tell it what it is that you want. You have to guide it along the way, unless you don't care. This is why a lot of kids who just like write me a paper about the Scarlet Letter, and they're, sure, no problem, here's your paper, and it's AI slop garbage, because it needs more than just write me a thing. Ask me how I know that. So I'm sitting here like, I want to make a band, and it's all and it's like, I want to just read from a cookbook. I want to take a recipe from a cookbook. You turn it into a song for me. And it was like, that's a copyright infringement. Slow down, horsey. So like, oh, you learn a lot about copyright law through this process. So it was like, you can't just take someone's recipe from a cookbook and read it verbatim over fucking music, you animal. You have to massage it a bit. And so I was like, okay. And the only components that I gave at that point were death metal, food, wordplay, and that's it. And it taught me, and I'll get your reactions. It really taught me right at the beginning to not let AI do too much work. Like, I have to kind of needle down to very concretely exactly what I want out of this thing, or it will go in a direction I had not anticipated. For example, as you know, Cooper, death metal is more than just I hate the church. There's all kinds of things people in death metal hate. Not just the church, not just religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the AI doesn't know that. So when I went death metal, it went right. 10 tracks of We Hate the Church. Got it. And I was like, oh. And it's so funny because I was so much like, not as Jesse knows this from having done sessions with me. I care so little about the lyrics. I'm like, whatever.
I mean, actually, well, I was going to say what's funny is not even that. Like, me and Coop have sat here and tried to talk to you about lyrics, and you just are like absent from the conversation sometimes from years of Metal Hammer of Doom. So I always wondered, like, he put so much thought, like, well, I say thought. I mean, I know you're prompting, but you did give it some thought about the lyrics that you were doing here when you did this album. I can tell at least what you wanted versus what you didn't want.
Well, let me correct you. I was very much concerned with style and
okay.
theme. Could give a fuck less about the lyrics.
Yeah, but you said that you just said that like you didn't want 10 songs of I hate the church. So you were giving it some thought.
I realized that until the end. That's the problem.
Oh no!
I was almost done with the album before I figured out. Hey, wait a minute! I accidentally made a Deicide album. What the fuck did I do?
Did you make a good one?
Well, you be the judge. I was so I've been babbling now for a while. Let me just stop for a second. Mick, your thoughts, your reactions. Are you thinking, please get me off this fucking podcast?
I'm tired of this shit. No, so I could respect that it does take a lot of work. And I was noticing during listening through the album that it was hard to hear the lyrics. I wish the lyrics would have popped up.
Mm-hmm.
But with you having a death metal focus, I thought it was different. Like, each song felt a little different.
It's definitely spans genres.
Yeah, that was so. It's through the creative. I'll go over to you in a sec, Coop. But through the creative process, it stopped being about death metal like very, very quickly, because the original premise I couldn't do. I couldn't just do recipes. It was like, no. You can give me a food idea. I will translate it into the most beautiful poetry you've ever heard, and then we will turn that into a song. You can't just be like, beat eggs Like pour in flour, voila, beef Wellington.
That fucking Tool song.
Yeah.
Fire von Satan.
So
Yeah.
once we had thrown away the original concept, I became like, okay, well, let's just do 10 or 12 songs of different genres. Like, it's still food related, it's still metal, but let's play with genre. And that's kind of what Recipe for the Damned is. It's a genre playlist. So like the first song is folk metal, and it just kind of goes and goes and goes. And I was like, I want to try this style, and it would start with one kind of genre, and then and Jesse knows this process. Like, it'll iterate something for you. You'll listen to it and go, something's missing. Oh, I know, African drums. So like you throw that in there, and you start fucking with the prompt a bit, the style prompt a bit, and you get this like word salad of nonsense that turns into a halfway decent song. All right, Coop. If you could stop vomiting in your mouth for a moment, just tell me what your thoughts are.
Is it that obvious?
You look like you're ready to fucking murder me. So yes, which I
That's
accept.
like-
I accept.
Well, it's funny because I have a coworker. I know we mentioned AI podcasts,
Yeah.
and I just revolt at the thought of it. And I have a coworker that had his
Sorry,
fucking
I'm
voice
laughing
digit.
because Jesse not only does the music, but he also makes AI podcasts and then listens to them in the most masturbatory
At one
accent
point-
you've ever heard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Keep going there, stink face.
Dude,
This was-
I have
And this was the last time we saw Coop.
I legit have a Notebook LM podcast based on like 10 days worth of audio diaries from back in 2010. It is the craziest fucking thing you've ever heard about how they're talking like, boy, this guy certainly sounds like he is burnt out. He is yelling at the traffic. And I'm like, fair. That's a good analysis. I can't disagree.
AI. I was.
I can't disagree. All right, Coop. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I got on medication for the ADHD, by the way. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, you're doing great tonight.
Thanks, Dad. So he's telling me about this. He goes, yeah, I went to the studio and they had me talk for an hour and then digitized my voice. So it's going to be utilizing my voice for an AI podcast. And then, it's a lot of work. I got to edit it. And I'm like, or you could just fucking talk.
Do your own thing.
Like that. It's one of those like AI. I don't love AI music because, as you said, when the ChatGPT said, "Oh, that's copyright infringement. We can't do that." There is much irony in saying that.
Yeah.
That's extreme. That's the part I was like, yeah. Sorry, I can't do copyright infringement when you tell me about it. But as a basis for how it works, but like a podcast, like literally, like if you're having a podcast, having AI do your podcast, you can talk. Like literally, talking is like the only thing you do for a podcast. Anybody, well, let's not be ableist. Not everybody can fucking talk. But most people, yeah. I was like, whatever, bro. Like this guy's 60 years old and has conversations with his chat GPT
And this
when he's
relates to what we're
bored.
talking- And so you're relating this to what I've said so far. How exactly?
Because you're talking about how AI works.
Gotcha.
Don't worry,
and
I
I'm
was
just-
just waiting for the end of the episode to just slam AI.
Yeah,
Just both of you seething by the end of this episode, like
We're
Madeline
just
Kahn.
waiting.
well, I mean, it's again like listening to your album. It's definitely not all death metal, which is nice because it does have its moments that are very distinct and different. But yeah, it's again like I just thought about that with a coworker because we again talking about generative AI.
So let me continue with this process.
Continue.
So now we have a rhythm. Like it was,
You can't have rhythm. You're white.
I told it what I wanted. It told me what it was able to do. I was like, good. I just want to make music now. And my thought wasn't about the lyrics. Clearly, this is a nothing album. Like later on, I'm gonna evolve in this process. I don't know if we're ever going to come back and do another one of these again. So I'll probably talk about the artwork and the title of this album is this first one, but I might talk a little bit more about how I got to where I am now with it versus where I started. But I was at the time super focused on I just want to make music. The lyrics don't matter. It fucking shows. I go back and listen to this now and I'm like, this is about nothing. This is the very definition of AI slop. So like more of my stuff now has more of my personality in it. This fucking doesn't. So I start playing around with Suno.ai, and like I said, like it gives me the title, it gives me the lyrics, and it's all wordplay. I think let me read through the fucking track listing here. Shit, I had the damn thing up and I lost it.
I'll give them to you. I got them right here.
Just read through
so we have gnocchi guillotine.
Yes.
Boil the priest, mince the heretic, flesh reduction stew, and you're gonna have to help me on pronunciations on a few of these. Bernays bloodletting.
Yes, that's correct. Bernays bloodletting.
Royal to survive, pan-sear damnation, sous vide
sacrifice,
al dente execution, baked and basted, butter my buns, last course, cannibal creme brulee.
All right. So what's funny is this was originally did not have the first iteration of this album did not have baked and basted or butter my buns on it. That comes after when I suddenly realized I don't have a stoner metal song and I don't have like an over-sexualized Steel Panthers song. So I'm like, and I just want to be done with this and get this over with. Like by that point, I've been working on this project for hours, if not days, and I wanted to be done with it because I was already bored and losing my patience. So I was like, "Hey, do a stoner metal song," and it met me where I was, impatient. So it was like, "Sure, asshole, baked and basted. There's your fucking song." The ChatGPT totally matches my energy. And then it was like, "Oh, you want a sex song too? Good. Butter my buns. Get the fuck out of my office." Cool. And off we went. Turns out Erica's favorite songs on here are Butter My Buns. It's not a surprise.
Good one.
And Sous Vide Sacrifice. Sous Vide Sacrifice is actually probably the most popular song on there. Like, apparently, AI music and industrial is a really great mix. So...
Are you robots? Who the fucking thought?
Go figure. Yeah, so I worked my way through each one, and it starts off like it was kind of a back and forth where it was like, here's your song and here's your theme. What do you want this to be? And I'm like, this one feels like folk metal. This one feels like straight up like Teutonic, like death metal. This one feels like more thrashy. And so by that point, I'm just like, what haven't I done yet? You know, so again, it was barely a conscious effort to keep the theme, the subgenre related to the song. I was like it got to Sous Vide Sacrifice, and I was like, I haven't done industrial yet. That was how much thought I put into this. So yeah, so now the thing is done, and I like the way it sounds. It is one of those where if you listen to it and hear the lyrics, it's total bullshit. It is very much the something that my son complains about with AI, where it's like you can tell this is soulless. It's not saying anything. It is just a lot of creative wordplay, which is fine for what I wanted at the start. The lesson I learned from making this album was don't do that again. This was funny once. Like I kind of did it and made my point that it was like, I want to keep doing Fra Diavlo. I like the concept, but I can't keep doing this where I just give it total control creatively and I'm only guiding the music because I'm not saying anything of value. And that, as a first effort, and I'll stop here and let you guys kind of jump in. As a first effort, I think it's okay. I think it's definitely somebody experimenting with these tools for the first time, kind of not knowing what he's doing and learning about like song creation process while doing it. So it's not as good as I wanted it to be, and it's probably the weakest thing I've ever done. On the other hand, I'm proud of how it turned out in the sense of like, it was a lot of work to do, and I followed it straight through, and it's at least semi-coherent. The album cover was, again, like, we have a lot of genres here. it's it's metal. It's a bunch of different metal genres, and then it kind of took that and created the picture that you see behind us. So that was that first album. Your thoughts, Mick?
I did want to talk about the album cover. I think the album cover looks suspiciously like all of us.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know. I was looking at it and I was like, well, that looks like Coop. That looks like Jesse. That kind of looks like Mark. And I guess I'm in the back.
The one that looks like fucking Sting in an oven. Ah! Why does this keep happening?
Did you change the album cover on oh my goodness, on Suno? Because it does not. I'm looking at it right now, and it does not have what you posted in our messenger. It looks different. I'm just asking. I don't know if you did or not.
No, there's the only I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
The album cover. The album cover here.
I mean, I've seen the one that you posted in Messenger before, but I've not seen the one that's in.
That's the album cover, guys.
Okay. Do you have your Suno up and running?
I do.
Go to Suno real quick and pull up the album.
Are you talking about the playlist that I made?
Is that what I'm looking at?
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe that's what I'm looking at then.
Yeah.
You're on Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're talking about like what's on Suno, yeah, you're talking about the playlist for Recipes for the Damned where it's like red and white and all that.
Yeah.
No, that was just a Suno generated thing.
Got it.
To keep track of my work. But yeah, so like as far as like death metal albums go, so I put this on TikTok and the reaction I got was, this is obviously AI. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, dick.
How many videos have you said that here to lately? Because that seems to be a big trend.
Oh, I get
everything is
my
AI.
essays all the time that like, oh, like this sounds like it was scripted by AI, and I have to keep telling people, I'm like, these are all my ideas. It helped me organize them in a way that's coherent, but every single one of these is my idea. As the AI often has to remind people, it's nothing without the human user. It only overtakes things if you let it.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say, Mick?
Oh, that was the end of my statement about the album cover. But it was funny that you used the word soulless, because I was noticing as I was listening to it, there's always like this weird sound to it whenever you hear AI music, that it sounds like they're singing in a tunnel. And there's like a soulless quality to it.
Yeah, there's a part of, I think it's Boyle the Priest, where it just sounds like it went in a tunnel all of a sudden. It doesn't happen all that much, but it happens enough to where, like, I've noticed it as well.
Yeah, that's a Suno artifact for sure. I've seen that, and that happens in my songs a lot.
They've done away with that now, right? They fixed that problem, whatever it was.
It could still happen. I did a cover of one of yours just earlier tonight, just because I was wanting to see what V5 would sound like, and it fucking took it right into a tunnel, and it came right back out for a second. But yeah, it's definitely still something that's there.
Which one did you cover?
I covered both Boyle the Priest and I think Mince the Heretic.
Oh, okay. By the way, have you heard the mashup I did of Mince the Heretic and Hobo on a Train?
Did you send it to me? Because I
it.
know.
Yeah, you did. Because you fucking had a really positive reaction.
It was really fucking good.
I have to eventually release that as a single. It's too good to keep to myself.
I like it.
Robert, before I move on to the next thing, I'm going to let you bash me over the head. Your thoughts, sir, of my soulless AI slop that I'm so very proud of.
I feel bad.
This is a free forum. You're allowed to say what
you're like, this is my child. I love it. It's not perfect, but it's mine. And I'm just like, boy, howdy, ain't it, producer Mark?
All right. I'm gonna kind of speed through this, and let you guys have last licks, and then we'll move. We'll talk about something else. Go ahead, Justin.
I was just gonna say, Coop says this is my child, and I remember when we first started messing with Suno, I had a very kind of identifying. I identified something as being created that wasn't there before. This fucking thing was not out in the internet. It was not out in public. It was not in existence until it came into your mind. We're not talking about something that doesn't exist. We're talking about something that is here. And I as much as like, you know, AI gets a very bad reputation, and deservedly so sometimes, for some of the BS that comes up with, it still took your idea and made something out of it. Mm-hmm. And so Coop's like, you know, Coop's you know, relating it to like it's your child. I certainly am not that attached to my AI music, but again, I definitely am sitting there going like, well, shit, you know, if this is something that didn't exist until we put it in a ChatGPT and said, come up with something. And there's going to be moments where you're actually enjoying what you created, which I find that a lot. And I think a lot more as time goes by and AI music and Suno and stuff like that start to get adopted more widely. That's what it's going to be recognized for. It's not going to be music for everybody else. It's going to be music for you. If you like that type of music where it's, you know, I created a song tonight. It was just about, you know, something my daughter is currently doing at school. And I was like, hey, here's a song for you for some of the crazy shit you're doing at school. I'm not going to share that with anybody, but you know, it's something that personally later on down the road we can talk about. So, but yeah, Coop's sitting there laughing. I am afraid to even think of what's going through his head.
So, I'm not going to speak it into existence because it's weird when it's your kid, man.
I appreciate that.
All right. So I was very quick to want to do another one of these. I was like, I wasn't satisfied completely with Recipes for the Damned. Like, good first effort. It was definitely a learning experience, but I'm competitive with my own self. Like, if I do something and I'm like, I can make this better. I can do better. I can do better, Dad. Sorry.
You're doing great, son.
Sorry, I have trauma response of being hit while saying I can do better. So anyway, so I was like, I want to do another album, and I was really struggling for ideas. And now this is, so the first one comes out. I'm working on it in July. It comes out in August. I'm like, let me put one in for September. It'll be in time for the holidays. The holidays are coming up. I'll do a song. I want to do an entire record kind of dedicated to the holidays, kind of tracing the holidays through the year, starting with Halloween. And it's like, by this point, I had found DistroKid.
Yes.
DistroKid is a website that you can put your AI art into, and it will send it to all the places where people download music. So how I got my music on Spotify, I have a DistroKid account, period. DistroKid is a great tool. I recommend it. There's a lot of different things that it'll help you with in terms of getting your music out there. It'll create a merch store for you. Spotify wants you to add canvas to your songs. It'll help. It'll just auto create those for you. They suck, but I don't care. These are like 8-second looping videos to put with your song. Like if you've ever used Spotify and you see the videos, those are called canvases.
Gotcha.
And so it'll help you get on playlists, so you have a better chance of being heard. Things like that. So DistroKid is an invaluable tool, and without it, I wouldn't have kept doing this. So like I said, Recipes for the Damned is done. It's on DistroKid, goes to Spotify, it does what it does. All right, let's do another one of these. Let's see if we can be a little bit more in control of what we're doing and not give your entire fucking creative process over to the clanker. So
damn wirebacks.
Nice. So that's where Holidays Are Hell came from. It goes from October to I believe Passover. The tracks are Feast of Shadows, Turducken Nation, The Feast of Everwinter, which is Christmas, by the way. Champagne in the Crow's Nest, which is New Year's. Golden Bowls at Sundown is Ramadan. 8 Nights, One Flame is Hanukkah. Heart-Shaped Lies is Valentine's Day. Quite possibly the best song I've ever done. In like 12 of these, even my kids think this one's great. My girlfriend, it's like the one she listens to the most. Every Irish song ever is fucking hilarious. It's basically a Flogging Molly song. I'll talk about how I came up with it in a second. But like, I accidentally tripped over a real banger with this one.
Most traumatizing video too.
Yes,
Yeah.
very. The sheep jumping off the bar still makes my girlfriend laugh hard. The fifth cup is Passover. Queen for a day, just as for a lifetime is Mother's Day. Dad fire food, where at this point I'm running out of ideas, is Father's Day, and then apples and ash is Yom Kippur, I believe it was. So these I had more of an idea of like what I want the song to be. Like Feast of Shadows, I was kind of going for. I was playing off like the This Is Halloween from A Nightmare Before
Nightmare
Christmas.
Before Christmas.
Yeah, I was going more for that. It's probably this one is the most. I'm more focused on the music than I am the lyrics one. Turducken Nation, I was specifically going for Born in the USA. In the sense that I wanted people to very much not understand that the song is ridiculing our behavior at Thanksgiving and our behavior in and around Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Like I was super critical of like us not really getting behind the meaning of what Thanksgiving was supposed to be and just having a gluttonous meal for the sake of doing it and then going out the next day and killing each other to try to get a television set. So that's Turducken Nation. I'm a little cynical. The Feast of Everwinter is a complete U-turn where I'm like, so ChatGPT, you know how I just said I hate Thanksgiving and I'm not a huge fan of Halloween either? Well, I love Christmas and I want to make like a Christmas Viking victory song. Cool. The Feast of Everwinter. Champagne in the Crow's Nest is a pirate metal song. And it's New Year's Eve. And this was where I had to really get creative because like the first three, the food associated with the holiday kind of, defined itself. That was easy. And I'm like, what the fuck food goes with New Year's? That's a drinking holiday. So I had to like do research on this and figure it out. And we kind of fused some ideas together. And that became Champagne in the Crow's Nest. This is also, and I want to talk about this really second, and I'll take a pause so you guys can talk to me. So Jesse, you know how sometimes you have to put very specific instructions in the lyrics, or as I've learned, if you put things in parentheses, it says it out loud. If you put it in brackets, it understands that it's an instruction.
Yes.
Guess what I wasn't doing at that point. So
there's
singing the instructions.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a song on. I was going through your Suno lyrics here, and on Recipes for the Damned, where you put the song title and then in parentheses you said, "This is the song's title. Do not say it out loud." And then, like, it listened at least. But,
yeah. Let me tell you how there's a call and response part, and it has Vox, VOX, and it's screaming Vox at me. And
that's
I
funny.
didn't notice it until we were all the way done with the song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck it, it's too good. I'm leaving it in there. Note for next time, don't do that. I now have to scream at the AI every single time. Bracket, you asshole.
Yeah.
There are times ChatGPT is an outstanding, state-of-the-art, fucking forward-facing, futuristic tool. And then there are times it's half retarded. When I tell it, bracket only the instructions, and it brackets all the lyrics like a moron, I'm like you just want to strangle your computer. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So I've had that happen a few times. All right.
This is why nobody likes you.
All right. Thoughts, reactions, mix so far.
I'm loving that it sounds like your AI, whatever, is bullying you all the time.
It's a contentious relationship, to say the least.
I love it.
Robert, your quick and dirty thoughts.
That AI sounds autistic as fuck. It's great. Also, for New Year's, typically, isn't it collard greens and black-eyed peas?
Maybe.
And some corned beef.
Grapes.
Yeah,
I've never had grapes for it.
That's where Champagne in the Crow's Nest came from. So it was something about grapes. I don't remember what, but that's what
You
it
have to
found.
eat like 12 before midnight or something.
Yeah, my mom would always make cabbage and corned beef and black-eyed peas, and I fucking hate cabbage and corned beef. So I guess I just farted for the next fucking week after eating all the black-eyed peas.
All right, so Golden Bowls at sundown. I was trying to think of the different ways to go about doing this, and I was like, well, I want to be more inclusive, so I was like, here, we'll do a Ramadan song, and this is the first time I started experimenting with stuff outside of the metal genre. So there's like a lot of it. So Jesse, you can kind of somewhat speak to this, I think. If you want it to, it'll do like other like weird world stuff. So like there's a lot of like Arab sounding music, musical notes and different instruments in Golden Bowls at sundown.
Yeah. I created a song that was based off of a cover of Thor, and it had the Egyptian god of Set. And I said, do me a favor, just come up with a genre for this. And it legit, when Suno made it, it sounded like it was some type of, Middle Eastern song. It was pretty great. So yeah, it can pull some of that stuff off pretty well.
Yeah. 8 Nights, One Flame is my ode to the renegade Jew. It's a Jewish rap metal song, like new metal, and it's about Hanukkah. That's it. That's as far as I went with that. If you don't know who if you don't know who A to the D is, the renegade Jew, he's coming after you. Look it up. It's 20 some odd years ago. Yes, that's a real thing. Heart Shaped Lies is my rendition of a Def Leppard song. And it's about like chocolate candies, and this is I don't know if you know this about me or not, but I've had some sad stuff happen to me the last few years, so it really comes out here. Like this is a very bitter Valentine's Day song. Okay, I'm gonna talk about every Irish song ever, and this is like my favorite fucking song creation story. So during a time when Jesse was essential, I was doing the Source Material live show, and I had a friend of mine, Christian, come on the show, and we reviewed. I don't know if you know the Coop, the kind of horror comics that deal with like different holidays and stuff like that. Oh gosh, what's the name of it? Jesse? If you remember the name of it, help me. But we did one for St. Patrick's.
Grim Fairy Tales or something.
Grim Fairy Tales, yeah. And so
are they contemporary? Like sort of newer, like a newer release.
I want to say that they are. I mean as far as
like 5 years ago when we did this, so.
Yeah, I meant like in the past 20 years. We're not talking the EC stuff from the 50s.
No.
This is modern comics. You can get a lot of the Grimm's Fairy Tale trade paperbacks at Ollie's, as a matter of fact.
I fucking love Ollie's.
Yes, sir. So we do this Grimm's Fairy Tale that's about St. Patrick's Day, and at the time we were doing ad reads for Amazon and Grammarly. So we do the ad read for Amazon at the end of the show, but I made a whole bit out of it. And we went to Spotify because that's what we were doing the ad read for, or rather Amazon Music. And we found all of these like St. Patrick's Day playlists. And the more songs we read, the more racist it got.
Oh, no.
And both Chris and I noticed it, where we're like, what the fuck is this? And then we just started making up our own racist Irish songs for St. Patrick's Day. So he was like, rosy cheeks, red nose. And I was like, and then I think I said Potato Famine by Car Bomb. Always got to cross that line, I do. And it was the funniest thing on that entire podcast. Chris, I wish Chris and I were still friends. We don't really talk anymore. But Chris always had because we're both from Long Island, we both had combined a really funny sense of humor. And he was a guy that got me and I got him. And we cracked each other up during that whole bit. It was the funniest 5 fucking minutes of most podcasts I've ever done. I was crying. I took that segment and I went, ChatGPT, song this. And first, because I'm a psycho, I will allow myself to talk to the thing like it's a human. I understand that it's not, but I have my moments. And I was like, I just want you to react to this. Just react like a human. Do that for me. Make me feel like I have a friend. And it goes, okay. And I send the thing to it. Be my friend. And I send the thing to it, and it literally does like a spit take. It just it was like, this is its reaction to it was like, this is the most unhinged thing I've ever read. Like, this is what the fuck is wrong with you? It's great. So yeah, it became because we said that it was like every Irish song is like progressively racist. So, like, this is every Irish song ever, and it's literally just a list of bands and Irish stereotypes set to a flogging Molly beat.
Oh my god!
And I've actually done a remix of it since then. It'll be out on St. Patrick's Day this year. It's called the Car Bomb Remix.
Please tell me it's even more Irish.
Yeah. I did like a techno dubstep remix, metal remix of it. It's cool but very weird sounding. In any case, I never laughed harder. I think I listened to it 50 times in a row. I was so fucking proud of myself. Like, if I never do another one of these again, I will be very proud of myself for every Irish song. Jesse, your thoughts here on that?
Oh, that's fantastic. I love to hear. I think some of my favorite stuff is to hear how the songs came about. You know, what the story is behind it. So yeah, taking some of that's what Sessions was all about, was taking some of those great moments that we've had and just letting, try to come up with a song around it. So yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
The fifth cup, like I said, is Passover, and I think it's Robert will think it's somewhat funny. It's a God, what is the tank band?
Sabaton.
Yeah, so the fifth cup.
Just like Sabaton.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
never mind. There's a band called Tank.
That's accurate. So the fifth cup is basically a Sabaton song. Queen for a Day, Just for a Lifetime is like a funky Chili Peppers thing. It's really short. Erica thinks it's hysterical. It's very apropos for Mother's Day. Dad Fire Food is like a Pantera Hatebreed combo. And then Apples and Ash is like Typo Negative. So that was Holidays Are Hell. The next thing I did, I'm not going to talk about this one for too long. It's also like my least favorite thing I've ever done. But it was definitely me being like, how like every band goes through an experimental stage. I had done a whole thing with ChatGPT where I was talking to it about personal stuff. And I had these really emotional reactions to the two, Hooba's Thanks songs, The Reason and something else. It was not Crawling in the Dark, I can tell you that much. But I had this really emotional reaction to it, and I was kind of talking to ChatGPT and processing my thoughts about it. And I saved that I saved that conversation, and then I was like, "Hey, that became its own TikTok." And then I kind of went back and I grabbed the TikTok transcript and I grabbed our conversation, and I said, I want to experiment with the idea of doing a rock opera. If I could do it all over again, I would do it a lot differently than I did this. It was more of like, I wanted to see if I could do it, then really take my time, think it through, and do it well. So Too Late to Rewrite, The Lover's Mise en Place is not something I would repeat. But I stayed hard on the food stuff while also like processing all these really emotional feelings I was having and all the stuff that I had said previously. And it's not my favorite thing. The Boil's a fun song, but this was like, let's experiment. All right, the experiment didn't go great. Let's move on. So, but Mick, you're an artist. You know what that's like. Like you try something and like, oh, this kind of sucks, but I'm not sad that it happened.
Yeah, it's a part of art to hate your art. So,
yeah. It's also, I think, my least listened to thing I've ever done. Hey, Jesse, want to tell this story so I can take a breath?
So I think Coop should tell this story, to be honest.
You have to talk about what happened. Well, you have to talk about what the genesis of the story is.
Okay, so yes, behind the scenes, what had happened is my son Mongo went to go make some cereal one night, and he poured all the Fruit Loops into a bowl, and he reached for the milk, and all of the Fruit Loops landed on the floor, and he freaked out. Oh my gosh! Oh. I was like, I thought something bad had happened. And no, what had happened is he had spilled all his cereal onto the floor. So this was a Metal Hammer of Doom, we were coming up with this right on the spot. Yeah. Coop sat down. He's like,
in my bed.
Coop goes, give me 5 minutes. And he comes back with lyrics, right? This is the one where he came back with the lyrics for this. And, this is Mongo wants some Fruit Loops, if I remember correctly.
Yes, and the cereal. as the song title says.
Yeah, that is some good stuff. I immediately, as soon as it hit Spotify, I went into his room. I said, "You're famous."
What was his reaction to the song?
Oh well, yeah, I'm sure it was "Get Out of My Room" or something along the lines of. Yeah, that's great. He was not wanting to listen to it on repeat. I'll tell you that much, because I think he might have been a little bit embarrassed. I don't know.
This is one of my favorite Fra Diavlo songs. I dropped all my cereals, a fucking thrash banger. Coop did an amazing job with it. Dude, at the end, just fuck, there goes my cereal on repeat.
There goes my cereal.
Fuck, there goes my cereal. Fuck, there goes.
Well,
Oh my god, it's so good.
Well, it's because Jesse released it, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "I think I'm fucking shit. I can do better than this. Give me 5 minutes." That's exactly what I was. I was like, "Nah, I can do better than this." So I took "Fight Fire with Fire" by Metallica and rewrote it as I dropped all my cereal. That's why it keeps repeating that, because that's how it is at the end of "Fight Fire with Fire."
Yeah, it's Fight Fire.
When you turned and you were like, "I made a song," and I was like, "Well, that wasn't my that was not what I intended, but fuck it, the circle of AI goes around, I guess."
All right, so that's hilarious, and so by this point, like I said, I'm familiar with what other people are doing, and they're not doing full albums; they're doing singles. So like, okay, I need to kind of shift away from what I was doing, which is fully composed albums and EPs, and just do singles as stuff hits me. I'm gonna alternate between the two ideas. But that's also why I do a separate thing with the pansexual peanut butters. Is as soon as an idea hits me, it's a song, it's got a release date, it's got an album cover, we're good to go.
Yeah.
So I'm not like always like waiting around to do stuff. All right, so this next one, "Subtlety is for Cowards," is basically this is an Erica album. We were hanging out at the house, and I can't remember. This might have been. Oh, this is the day that she was moving. So on the day that she moved and then didn't get the house and had to move into my house. Long story.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That still sucks.
Oh yeah, it's a quality story. We were just killing time basically. We were like killing time while the movers are packing up the house. So I was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" She's like, "I don't know," and I'm like, "I don't know. Let's just make stupid songs." So because I love my girlfriend to death, she's just the best person. She is as subtle as a fucking mule kick to the head. So hence, "Subtlety is for Cowards," because I stole that. Dave stole that from somewhere. I stole it from Dave, and it became like the whole theme of this EP is Erica's crazy thoughts, and made into songs. So the first one is "Dr. Reelgood," which is clearly a sexed up version of "Dr. Feelgood." Kind of popular, believe it or not. Like, this one gets a lot of listens, for me at least. A lot is like, 2. But "Party on the Lawn," we were talking, we were having this is all the same day that we did this. We're having this conversation, and like, what, and like, I'm basically telling a story about like a girl who goes to a frat party, she gets drunk, she wakes up on the front lawn, and like, let's set this to "Party in the USA." Yeah, and then like, okay, same song, but what if Nickelback did it? That's how I ended up on "Party on the Lawn." We were going to get coffee or something. We left the house while the movies were doing stuff, and she starts not bitching at me, but I'm telling her about all these other things I've done for other people, and she's like, "Why don't you ever write about me? Why don't you write me a song?" And I'm like, so I'm literally in the car, like, "You want a song, do you? Write a song about how my girlfriend's like a fucking hurricane blowing through my house. Make it a love song." And it's kind of like a metalized version of "She's Like the Wind." Okay, so very poetic, very lovely, very romantic song that I had to fucking fuck it with mud and say it's about how my girlfriend, who was slightly, at the time, having some troubles.
Okay.
Was
Slightly at the time. What?
We were trying to figure out the right combination of meds during this period. So I was like,
"Hey,
let me take that idea, combine it with "She's Like the Wind," and throw mud on it. Ta-da! She's like a hurricane. She fucking loves it though. She's like, "Oh, it's so sweet. You think I'm a destructive gale force wind." So, and then I was like, I'm out of ideas. I dropped my cereal on this, and voila, EP. The next one, Jesse. I'm gonna need your help with this. So, Jesse,
Oh goodness.
okay. So the backstory to this is I've been asking for Jesse to send me like his music, and the deal is that if anything hits and it makes money, I'll share it with him. But like it'll give me more stuff to put on DistroKid. And Jesse says yes, and then doesn't do it, like everybody else in my life.
Hey, I'm sure I'll get a song about me here on one of these albums. I'm certain.
It's called "Making Me Wait." He makes a promise, he doesn't. Anyway, but I wanted to celebrate
it. Making me wait. It's about an Irish guy trying to on Ozempic.
So despite that, I wanted to celebrate. Jesse, how many songs in Suno do you have?
I have a lot. I have about 1,800.
What?
What?
I'm gonna let them react to that, to your mania.
I have about 18. Well, that was last time I counted too, which was about a couple weeks ago. So, but it's not like I'm releasing everything. I have stuff that's I just create and listen to myself. So I have about 18 to 1,900 songs that I've created over. This is over 3 years of time almost. So
yeah, this is how an addict talks.
It's not bad. I promise. It's not bad.
No, I can stop anytime I want.
My Spotify consumption had really, really, really decreased over the past 3 years because I've been listening to either stuff that I create or stuff that had been created. So yeah, it really impacted like what I've listened to.
Steam coming out of Cooper's ears.
Listen, I'm not saying that it's a replacement. I'm just saying you only have so much time to listen to stuff. And if you're listening to your own stuff, you're not listening to something else that other people are listening to.
Who has time to listen to polished, professionally created music by humans when there's so much AI slop to get through?
If I can create a 4-minute song by, prompting for 1 minute and then pushing a button for 1 second and have the song, I can have the entire song created in less time than it is, to come up with the idea and push the button. It's just insane. But yeah, so as for this album, Songs in the Key of Stiznarkey, Mark decided he wanted to cover a bunch of stuff that I had done and put it on Spotify.
I wanted to celebrate you.
And I appreciate that. I really do, because I'm not, I don't have anything on Spotify. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, and I really hope you do take a few moments, is to talk about this business, what it looks like to be on Spotify and just take at least 5 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Chicken Nugget Vampire, that's something that I created like over 1.5 years ago. It's obviously about a vampire that walks into McDonald's and orders like all the chicken nuggets. But we want to keep them happy. Then we got Don't Let Your Meatloaf, which is an absolute completely Don't Let Your Meatloaf. It is. So Suno has a lyric generator, and a lot of times what we were doing before was going to ChatGPT and just saying, okay, here's the song I want. Let's flesh it out. You put all this stuff in. You could go to Suno's lyric generator, and they have two. They have one that's very structured like ChatGPT, and then they have one that's called Remy, which is completely batshit off the wall sometimes. So all you have to do is give it a prompt. It could be one word, and then it will write you one crazy ass song based off of that. That one word's going to be in there, but and the stuff's going to be related to it. So I said, okay, one of the phrases that have been uttered around here for years is "Don't let your meatloaf." So there's the prompt, and there's where I put that into Remy and let that one go. So that whole song,
like an early '90s sitcom.
All right, don't let your meatloaf. All right. So anyway, that's Don't Let Your Meatloaf. Get my groceries and get the hell out of here. Can you guess where I was when I came up with the idea of that song? That is correct. I was at Walmart and I wanted to get the fuck out. Subway Cookie was a song about how a friend of Colton's, the 13-year-old, had ordered a one singular Subway cookie and used Uber to go and pick it up. DoorDash to go and pick it up. Mindy was the one that gave the cookie to the DoorDash guy and figured out like, oh, I recognize that name. That's Colton's friend. So we prompted that. That is that song. And Just Eating Beans is like an absolute classic. All I said was, all I want to do is I just want to sit at home and eat beans all day. Just eating beans.
Yeah. So this was.
I mean, that's my life.
So Jesse, talk about like the remix and covers aspect of Suno, because these were new functions at the time.
Yeah, so Suno had come out with these. It continually evolves and adds new features. One of the things that you can do is take an old song like you may have created back in version 3.5, hit cover, and do a V5 cover, a version 5 cover of it. Version 5 sounds freaking amazing. So you can also tell it to change style. You can change, it's just like any other cover. I want to do a slow rendition of, whatever. So you just got to type that into the style and turn things loose. And I think Mark took that, celebrated me by taking some of these songs. And I mean, were you shooting for just metal up shot of these things, or
no?
What?
I did it the same way I do all my albums. Like Chicken Nugget Vampire, I was like, what if Concrete Blonde did this?
Okay.
And I threw a style prompt in there that was Concrete Blonde, and it'll only change the song so much, I've learned.
Yeah, you didn't like this. I love the cover feature, but I think a lot of what you were doing was a little bit different than what I was doing, because I was upscaling my stuff, so I was using like the same genre. So maybe that's why it was turning out so well.
Genre, and it wouldn't let me do it. So it would amplify certain aspects. So like Just Eating Beans, I was like making a death metal song, and instead it kept the same kind of like funk style, just made it really angry. Like there are parts that was like, I'm eating beans all day, and I'm like, all right, cool.
It's angry because that's the only thing you can afford in late stage capitalism.
It's true.
Right. I gotta tell this story really quickly. So this was the show where Robert and I were comparing the two versions of Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Erica had watched both movies with me. She likes the original Hand That Rocks the Cradle. She liked the new one better than both Robert and I did, and she wanted to be on the show. Sometimes she takes her meds and she falls right to sleep. Sometimes she's okay. She thought she was going to be okay for this show. Turns out she wasn't, and she fucking passed out in the middle of the show.
Oh my god!
And the thing of it is I'm a dick. So I can't just like protect my girlfriend. Like, no, I have to be an asshole about it and and song her and shame her for falling asleep on a podcast, but lovingly, because I do love this woman. So Warren's cherry pie becomes She's My Sleepy Pie.
She's my sleepy pie.
My favorite thing about this is that fucking album cover. Her sleeping in the middle of a cherry pie.
That looks good.
The other thing about this is that, like I said, it started off as a Warren song, and then it became something a little bit different because I like. The other thing is, I'll start with a genre, I'll start with a song style, and then hear Suno's version of what it thinks I want, and go, I'm not happy with this. I have to change it somewhat, and then I'll do something different with it, and voila, you've got where I started and where I land are not necessarily the same place, but where I land, I'm usually a lot happier. So She's My Sleepy Pie is actually really good. It's got a classic rock feel to it with a little bit of an edge. Hence is me. So that's that. All right. So this was half Erica, half a challenge I got from one of my friends, and half me wanting to play with genre. This is a country album. I'll try to go through this as quickly as I can. We're going to be here for 3 hours. But this was another one. We were hanging out at Erica's house, and we were like bored, so we were like playing with Suno on my phone, and I'm like, so Erica, like, let's make a song. What do you want to do? She's like, let's do country songs. I'm like, sure. Like, what do you want to do as a country song? She blurts out Red Solo Slut. We're not creative in this family. I'm sorry. So, because guess what that one is? Those of you that don't know, it's Red Solo Cup. So again, So again, it's the idea of like a girl and kind of being like, like a red Solo cup and just being passed around like a cup that everyone, like, it's literally we're singing about a cup, but the cup is supposed to be a girl, and it's being passed around and drank by everybody. So that's Red Solo Slut. I was playing around with covers at this. I was trying to do covers by this point because I'd seen a whole bunch of TikTok where it was like fake covers. It was like, what if Pantera was a funk band, and it's a walk by, it sounds like fucking funk. What if Metallica sounded like country and like all that stuff. So I was trying to figure out how people were doing that, and I think at this point I was thinking about songs that were in the what is it when you can't copyright them anymore? There's a phrase for it. where they're in the net, they're able to be done by anybody.
Oh,
Like this,
Oh, it's a
Public domain.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So songs
almost
I,
said free use.
yeah. That's something else,
free
Jesse.
use.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
We
wait for
made a
few months.
whoopsie here.
You're gonna have to wait for a few months for me and Kat to talk about that. So I was thinking about like public domain songs, and so I was thinking about not "Hey There, Delilah," but some public domain song that I had in my head, and it kind of reminded me then of "Hey There, Delilah" by the Plain White T's, and so I came up with this story. I told ChatGPT a story. That's how a lot of my albums start. I was like, "Here's the story." So I used to go to a restaurant when I was a kid with my parents when we would go to vacation up in Lake George. There was a really nice restaurant called Grandma's Kitchen, and we loved it. We ate there all the time. It's one of the more positive memories of childhood that I have. I was like, I want to kind of memorialize this place, but what if it was overrun by whores and bikers? So, so that becomes Grandma's Country Kitchen. That's the whole concept behind the album. ChatGPT loves this, by the way. Like, oh boy, like a story. So the opening track, hey there. Oh, something's in the kitchen with Dinah. That's I was crossing in the kitchen with Dinah with Hey There, Delilah, because I'm an idiot. And that's that song. So it's like, hey there, Dinah. Like, poor Dinah is just trying to, is just a whore, and she's beset on all sides. It's a whole country thing, and it's whatever. Then we did Red Solo Slot, and then I was just like, all right, I'm gonna approach this the same way I approach Recipe for the Damned, but not be stupid about it this time. So the next one, she thinks my grits are greasy. Is she thinks my tractor's
sexy. Oh
yeah,
goodness,
we were leaning hard on the food metaphors. The Highway Hams is the Highwaymen. Gator Granny Gonna Make You Pay. I wanted to do a Zydeco song, so that's that. Sugar and Smoke. It's really funny. I asked ChatGPT, I'm just like, what would you want to do if you were me? And he was like, can we make fun of the church again? So Sugar and not kidding. It literally said that to me. He's like, like, I feel like you're really missing like the whole like kill the church thing. He's like, I really am. Why won't you let me? I'm like, all right, easy. Now you know which way the robots are gonna lean. Now you know where the robots are going to lean when the revolution comes.
Well, yeah, their robot. The fucking AI religion's going to take over. Duh, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So that's Sugar and Smoke. Ain't No Shame in the Greasy Spoon is my favorite song on here. This is my tribute to Hell Yeah. With the drummer from Pantera and all them.
Yeah.
And the guitarist from Pantera.
Yeah. So Ain't No Shame in the Greasy Spoon is half like Hell Yeah and half Kid Rock. Like American Badass, that kind of a thing. So like the first 7 songs on here are just me playing with genre, not really having a commentary about anything. The second half of this album is me editorializing about the South. So Where the Coffee Never Ends is like a Dixie Chick song, and it's basically talking about like there's a Starbucks in every corner. What used to be a very picturesque South is like overrun now with strip malls and shit, and it's utterly unidentifiable from what it used to be, and people are not thrilled about that. That's Where the Coffee Never Ends. The Tea is Sweet, Bless Your Heart is about like paranoia.
That's funny. I like that.
Thank you. So it's about like the ChatGPT was like, how about how like Southerners are paranoid about the government? Sure. Let's make it a little more general, but yes. And it's a Red Right Hand, that band.
Oh.
I don't know that band.
From Scream.
Yeah. I know the song, but I don't know the artist.
Okay. So
isn't that Tom Cave?
No. Someone look it up for me while I'm babbling.
So
the Tea is Sweet. So the Tea is Sweet, Bless Your Heart is kind of a Red Right Hand song about Southern paranoia.
That's Nick Cave. Sorry.
Yeah, Nick Cave. Yes, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. American is Apple Pie is the second best song on here, and it's probably one of the more popular ones. So American is Apple Pie is like, who's the most popular country guy? I want to do him. but I want to make it about how awful things are now and how people are just like barely getting by, and it's like it kind of sucks to be an American. And not that I totally feel that way, but I definitely feel that people do feel that way, and I wanted to talk about that. Only I wanted to do it in a Born in the USA way, to where everybody misses the point of the song and thinks it's like celebratory, jingoistic. I'm American as apple pie. I have to work 3 jobs, and I'm driving a terrible truck.
But it's all good.
And I wanted to do it in the most popular country voice I could because I'm a dick. And that's American as apple pie. It's quite good, actually. Backdoor Biscuits. So remember how the first half of this album is about sex?
Mm.
Like, all right, let's go back to that again. So we can end on a happy note, seeing as the last 5 songs are really depressing. So Backdoor Biscuits is just a blatant sex song. And I think I also was like, I should do something with Jelly Roll here. So this is a Jelly Roll sex song. Hey Jesse, want to talk about poop in a bag?
Track 13.
Is it air? What is it about the fucking air pockets that are formed after fucking anal sex or something?
Hey Jesse, want to talk about poop in a bag?
Oh gosh, that was another. Oh my goodness! I think 2 years ago, my daughter was having some kind of Valentine's Day thing, and she just said, "We're gonna." One of the things that they were talking about for some reason was poop in a bag, and I said, "Here you go. Here's a song about it." And immediately, I don't know why Mark latched onto it so well. He loves it.
It's fucking catchy.
It is definitely one of the more catchy songs that I think I've created, and it is quoted to today. But I didn't know it made it onto the
it's a bonus track.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Yeah, I did a cover version of that. I think I did a remix of it is what I did. I just amped it up and made it heavier as best I could. So that's Poop in a Bag. That's my country album. I'm never doing another one of those, but it was fun to do once. All right, so really quickly, this one, Last Daddy Standing. By the time I get to this, I have been listening to a lot. Much to my children's chagrin, I'm really into the band Vinyl Guy at this point. Like,
oh boy,
I'm like every fucking thing out of my mouth is 1 in my mouth, 2 in my ass. That's the actual name of a song. Ram it up my shitter. I for about a month straight wouldn't stop singing "I Spit on Your Meat." I was loud and proud. So I was like, okay, I get possessed by demons, is what happens, and I have to excise the demon. Excise through song. I am a menace to live with. So I was like, I gotta do something with this band Vinyl stuff. I'm like, so his stuff is aggressively misogynistic. It is just hoary women use my holes as fucking cum dumpsters. It is just the worst possible graphic sex song you've ever heard. Like, we're well beyond Put Your Penis in Me, which is a whole other guy. This is like, 3 dicks in a raccoon, not my hoo-ha. That's what he's talking about.
Wait, are the 3 dicks inside the raccoon?
Maybe. Ask the guy.
And then the raccoon is inside.
So much like so much like Jesse, I want to now celebrate the band Vinyl Guy. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, let's take his aggressively misogynistic stuff and make it aggressively gay. So
the line is right there.
Yeah. So I took 5 of his songs that were, I'll just read them to you. We've got I'll Spit on Your Meat, which is one of my favorites. Gently Up My Jitter. Ram That Donut, Sloppy Mouth, and 1 in my mouth, 2 in my ass. And what I did was I copied his lyrics. I threw them all into it. By the way, you want to see an AI freak out? Take his stuff and throw it into Notebook LM and watch the AI blush.
Oh boy,
my stars and goddess, sir. So I took all of that, threw all of that into ChatGPT, and I'm like, write these. Don't change it too much, but just enough so that we're not talking about vaginas anymore. We're strictly talking about male asshole, and make these aggressively gay. And he's like, right. I wish I worked with a different guy. So I might be projecting a little. So it does that, and then I was like, all right, well, how am I going to package this? How am I going to sell it? There was a shooting a couple years ago at Orlando club
Yeah.
on like a gay night or something like that, or the whole club was gay. Who knows? Anyway, there was a shooting, and to raise money for the families of the victims of the shooting in Orlando, Effie, a very famous gay independent wrestler,
Yep.
who had been in a years-long feud with the not so famous but other gay wrestler Paro, whose partner, also gay, also a wrestler, is named Odin's son. This is important. So they had a no rope, no ring, false count anywhere death match at this club to raise money, and you had to like beat the piss out of your opponent and then sit on this throne for a full 10 count, and that was how you won. I watched this with my son at the time. I thought this match was great. I thought this whole thing was great. I wanted to celebrate it in some way, and I'm like, let's take this really pro-gay resistance moment with these wrestlers, these very manly wrestlers, and let's attach it to aggressively gay music. This is the way my mind works. And so the match was called The Last Daddy Standing. The EP is called The Last Daddy Standing. And when it made the artwork for it, it basically took Effie and combined him with CM Punk for some reason. And there's its version of Paro and Odinson. So that's Last Daddy Standing. I'm very proud of this one. By the way, these get a lot of listens. just to let you know.
That's great.
DistroKid was running a special on covers where it would buy the cover. Now it's really easy to do it. It'll just pay if you pay money up front. It'll buy the covers license for you. So I did a bunch of Christmas songs. This was one of them. This is, I think, a Peter, Paul, and Mary song that I just did as a heavy metal song. There's nothing more to it than that. It's called Christmas Dinner. The next thing. So this is where I go back to every Irish song ever. I start taking podcast reviews and turning them into songs. And so I took all of the reviews that we did of The Bear and turned each season review into an individual song, then combined the whole thing into one last song. That's Burn the Risotto. So these are Review, which is the name of an episode. The Seven Fishes, also the name of an episode. For me, it was Only Tuesday, which references something that happened in season 3, but also is a line from Street Fighter. The Crushing Weight of the
I get that reference.
Yay! The Crushing Weight of the Ticking Clock is just my interpretation of season 4, and then Burn the Risotto, which is taken from something that one of the characters said. And the original cover had a guy burning the risotto, and then I'm like, shouldn't we make it a bear?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is one of those where I didn't play with genre anymore. It was like, I'm already playing with theme. The genre should be consistent. So these are all Metallica, Megadeth, early 80s thrash style, where every song was like 12 minutes or some shit. That was except for the Crushing Weight of the Ticking Clock, where I was like, this is more like circus metal. But that was it. It's a thrash EP dedicated to the bear. All right, and here's the last one. This is the most recent one that came out. This is Cyrano de Bechamel, and this is all covers. This is my Valentine's Day album. I'm very excited about this one. I took 70s and 80s songs, and 70s and 80s love songs, just the sappy songs you could think of, turned them into thrash metal again. Because I've decided Fra Diavlo at its heart is a thrash metal band. And we did Can You Read My Mind from Superman, Don't Know Much by Linda Ronstadt, How Am I Supposed to Live Without You by Laura Branigan, You Light Up My Life by Debbie Boone, which I turned into a Christian metal song, and then To Aggravate My Father, The Way We Were by Barbara Streisand, which I turned into To Aggravate My Father, I turned that into a Typo Negative song.
Nice.
So, Nick, now that I've babbled for like an hour straight about all my AI slop, your thoughts?
So
I love you, Mark.
I do. I love you. I appreciate the work you put into this. It won't change my mind. I probably won't consistently listen to these things. Because I think the fuel behind why like me, Coop, and everyone else is so mad about it is because you're not using real people for creative things.
That's my daughter's argument. She's like, why don't you just start a real band?
Yeah.
Oh, because
it just perverts it, and I'm never going to agree with you.
Could you imagine 3 or 4 other people going along with any of these ideas? You're way off mic. I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry. I was really good the whole episode. I listened to the first
she was good.
But it will never change the fact that I don't like it.
That's fine. This was just to share my passion for something and to kind of, I've never had a really chance to talk about. I usually do it like during the plug section or something. But this is the kind of like the full arc of it. I've got more stuff coming out. I do stuff and I leave it in the can for months. So there's let me look really quick. The Fra Diavlo stuff I have coming up.
Imagine the bathroom immediately. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You are. I was like, it's like a porta john if somebody didn't pay the cleaning bill.
All right. So the next Fra Diavlo full length album is Master of Ovens. Master of Puppets. That's March 29th. I came up with another EP idea. I'm gonna have all the lyrics done by Remy. I think it's how it's pronounced, Jesse.
No,
it's Remy.
No, I have no idea. It's just
gonna go with Remy.
It's a remake. No. Oh, did I get it wrong? Oh, I'm just fucking with you at this point. I have no idea.
So
REMI.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have all the lyrics done by Remy, and it's called Remy's $1 Million Dinner. And every song is a decadent, like thousands of dollar dish with a whole meal. The whole 5-course meal done in song is about $1 million, and it's just the most decadent stuff ever. I have one track done because I wanted to test the experiment to see if I could do it, and it would sound good. Took me a couple of tries to get it. It took me like 3 tries to get it right, but I now have a print for how I want to do this. But that's that. That'll be out May 10th. I start working on it eventually, and then the next full-length Fra Diavlo album is June 21st. It's called After the Flood, Songs from the Killing Kitchen, and it's all dishes based on different countries and culinary styles over time and all over the world. I have the track listing already. I just got to kind of work through it, and I wanted for that one. I wanted to stick with the folk metal, but then I want to do different countries kinds of folk, so I don't want to just do like Norwegian style folk metal. I want to what if folk metal combined with the Arab countries? What if folk metal was South American? What if folk metal was this? What if folk metal was that? So I'm playing around with that idea and then matching it to different dishes from around the world, from around different time periods. Put a lot of thought into this, Mick. So that's what's next for Fra Diavlo. Robert Cooper, your final word on my baby, my sweet, sweet baby. Though I put so much time and effort into.
I feel like you're showing me your macaroni art, and I'm just like, you did such a good job, son. Oh my god, that does look like Batman. I mean, part of me is just past the point.
If you don't say something nice to me, the next episode is going to be all about the passive aggressive. You think this was long-winded? Wait till I tell you every story from the passive aggressive pansexual peanut butters. Just kidding. Keep going.
Well, it's just one of those. Like I don't want to be mean-spirited about it because you're very passionate. I do find it very interesting to hear sort of the logic and reason behind a lot of it. In terms of artistic merit,
I will tell you this. I will say this in defense of your positions. You do enough of these, you start to hear the same shit over and over again to where I'm even like, wow, it was trained on a handful of things per genre, and that's all.
I mean, I feel that a lot of your sort of AI music is, in a way, you're kind of like a producer. You're turning the knobs to get the sound that you want.
Yeah.
Very much kind of like like how Bob Rock turned the knobs on Saint Anger and ruined the production. You too could be Bob Rock.
He's also responsible for the Black Album, you dick.
Well, yes, but as we have learned through modern discourse, it's not what you do well, it's what you do wrong that people remember. We have to have outrage, damn it. But anywho, I mean, like I said, it is very interesting to hear your inspiration behind it. I find that I mean, kind of cool. I admit I listened to that first Fra Diablo album in October before we had the great nuking of the original jukebox.
Yes.
Which, boy. That was still ironic that you're like, we don't have rights to this. I'm like, but you made it. You're like, doesn't matter. Can't play it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Distro Kid would come after himself. It's crazy.
And that's what the clankers want. But anywho, yeah, I didn't listen to the rest of it, so I don't have a lot of context. I'm imagining some of it, and it's amusing the shit out of me. Like I'm proud to be an American by what is it? Is that Lee Greenwood that does that? Just I'm imagining that, but just you get past I'm proud to be an American, or at least I have 4 jobs. Like I'm just imagining that it's tickling the shit out of me. But I mean, yeah, as Thumper's mother once said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I am very happy for you, Maki. I'm happy that you have a creative outlet that you can do in your time.
I recently I was aggravated about a lot of different things the other night, and I took one of my favorite things Jesse and I have ever done together, our Metal Hammer of Doom Extra review of James Brown's Living in America.
Sort the mail.
Where we're screaming, we sort the mail at the fucking video. And I turned that into a song. It's its own separate thing. It's part of the Radulich Broadcasting Network stuff. But yeah, I'm all about compressing podcasts into songs these days. It came out between that and Too Old to Die Young. Those both get played on repeat now, Jesse.
Yeah. No.
Have you done one for this podcast, or it's just a bunch of fart jokes and sad love stories?
Let me work on it. Oh yeah, no, Coop. After tonight's podcast, you're definitely getting songed, Jesse.
That's fine. I will not listen to it.
I'm gonna do a 12-minute version of "Owner of a Lonely Heart." It's gonna be all fucking Rob Cooper stories.
Oh
yeah. Wow.
Back at you, dick.
Man.
I'm gonna give you the last word, Jesse, because you're kind and my friend.
No. Well, first off, I threw your album into ChatGPT.
Yes. This is what you're waiting for.
Oh yeah. I'll give you one sentence review here, which I thought was great. Because it's just the lyrics it's basing this off of. It reads like this is the whole album. It reads like Cannibal Corpse meets Mastodon meets Guar meets a Food Network fever dream.
Wonderful. Put it on the album cover.
Put it on a t-shirt, Mindy. Yeah,
this is Guy Fieri's not. That's what he has as a nightmare. When he gets the fucking diarrhea on Valentine's Day, this is what he hallucinates.
It's bad. I listened to this album a couple times here today, just to kind of Recipes for the Damned, just to kind of familiarize myself because I listened to it a while back too when we were getting ready to do that. I'll give you, top 3 for me. Baked and Basted was one of my favorites. The stoner rock song. It said 325 for 4 hours, but like, is that emotional time? That's good stuff. This bird's been high since '93. That was pretty funny.
And Suno both like skits in the middle of a song.
I like that. Boyle the Priest is heavy as hell. Mm-hmm. Like I really dug that one. And then Mince the Heretic. If you look closely, there's swamp funk in the description for the style, and I love it. I've noticed. I started to realize I like swamp funk, and I think Suno does a good job with that. So I like Mince the Heretic a lot. Butter My Buns is good too. I had, you could see Tarja's hands moving in Pan-Sear Damnation. She's
it's one of my favorites.
There's a couple points where, watching the evolution of Suno, where the vocals change and all of your songs are in 4.5. This is just before 5 released. Version 5 released probably within a month or two after you release this album. And you can, 4.5 was still good, but you could tell like kind of how the just how it evolved a little bit. And there's a couple songs that you have where, you know, it'll be like regular vocals, you know, the guy will be singing, and then all of a sudden you got female vocals, which is not something that's very, you don't see that very often in Suno songs. So when you get dual vocals going, it's pretty unique.
That was one of Jonas's criticisms. He was like, you can tell this isn't a real band. There's too many fucking people.
Like, oh, really?
He's like, there's so many singers. like that, what do you have? 20 people going on tour with this one stupid band?
Yeah, that's what kind of stood out to me. I was like, oh, there's not a lot of vocal consistency. I'm like, yeah, it seems very disparate in that regard.
There was a song, I think, towards the end where the guy's going, ooh, sing along with it. Again, that's something that you don't normally hear from. So it's unique. So there are enough songs on here that kind of like, to me, feel different from the other. Aside from the genre, there's also some, you know, there's some vocalization that's definitely different too. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the album. I have a few of my favorites, but you know, it was a good effort. Just like you said, this is V4.5, V5 hits, and I honestly think that, you know, I don't know what things are going to be like in a year. I mean, I started doing this in 2023, and I thought it was amazing then, and it just continues to get, you know, more evolved and sound way better. I don't think it's going to be too long before the argument that AI music is just, you know, it's going to have a stamp on it in order for people to know.
You wanted me to talk about being on Spotify and other places. Let me first tell you how, because I listen to band vinyl on repeat, and I listen to a couple of other fake AI music projects on Spotify. My suggestions is a fair as like half AI music and half real bands. And the real bands that I know of, like Rob Zombie or Lamb of God or Exodus or you know, like Creator, they all have new stuff out. That's why I mentioned them. Like clearly, I know those are real bands, but there's a lot of stuff that it pitches me, and I can't tell anymore what's a real band and what's AI without listening to it. And even then, when I listen to it, I'm like, I listened to something called the Electric Six, and it was like they going to McDonald's.
I know them
with a fucking Z, and I'm like, this has got to be AI, and they're real people. You know, I can't now. Other than the one guy whose work is called fake music, where it's obvious. A lot of the stuff I honestly can't tell. So if you just like let Spotify play, you're going to get a heaping helping of AI music that you won't know is AI unless you listen closely. And it's getting harder and harder to tell. DistroKid's really popular. Like there's a lot of people putting their AI music on Spotify now.
Right.
It's becoming another way for people to make money if you're any good at it. I'm not. But
I think you're great, son.
I've earned $2 so far with everything I've put up there.
$2.
That is $2 more than the rest of us.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
It's about what I do when I do a TikTok live. So just to kind of round out, like, what is it like to have?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So what's it like to have it on Spotify? I love getting the alerts. I love the fact that I can, like, I put together just a funk playlist, and it was like Too Old to Die Young, We Sort the Mail, and then like real funk music.
Yeah.
I love to have that creativity of anything that comes to me. I can just go, or if a friend of mine, like Your National Nightmare, says, "Will you do this for me?" I can do it, and then it's there for me to share it with the world. I don't see this as any different than any other thing that we've done, where you have no barrier to entry, like doing this podcast. Everything that we've talked about with AI music, you can say about podcasting. Podcasting used to be protected, high barrier to entry. You had to go and talk radio. Then podcasting became a thing, and the barrier to talk radio went away.
Right.
That's all this is. And yes, I could start a band. I don't know how many people are going with the middle-aged cynical fucking divorce guy to start a fucking band.
You've got the time to do that, right? You've got all the time in the world.
But on the other hand, you know, it's part of my self-care routine, like doing, like, literally feeling like aggravated and helpless in certain situations and going, I need to do something with this negative energy. And I go to my computer and I make a silly song out of a bit that Jesse and I did that made me happy. Like, and if other people think it's fun, great. If not, you know, okay. And it's not stopping fucking anybody else from going out there and making music and making money off of it.
That's right.
I'm just adding to the competition. And not well, because my stuff is not well listened to. I'm not the band Vinyl guy getting tens of thousands of listens to ram it up my shitter. You know? So
You always could ram it up your shitter. I'm just saying.
It's not that the thought hasn't occurred to me. All right. So with that said,
wait, we're doing another OnlyFans podcast.
Yes. All right, folks, that is the end of the Metal Hammer of Doom podcast. I will never talk about this stuff with you guys again. We'll go back to doing real music next time. I think the next one that we're doing, MHOD. The next one is one that Mick picked, March 22nd, Rob Zombie, The Great Satan.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
And I don't have anything else on the schedule, so I'll have to figure out when we're going to do it after that. But that's the next time that we're doing the Metal Hammer of Doom. Mick, go ahead. Mick, go ahead and do your plugs.
Okay. Well, I am semi-active right now on OnlyFans, so I will mention that. It's Mikren, Mikren, and the link is always up on the description and whatnot. Other than that, I haven't been posting anything on social media lately. So.
All right, Mick. When is the next time you're doing anything with us? Are you on anything in March as of yet?
I don't think, other than the us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. Although when's I guess I could look the Molly Ringwald thing.
Oh yeah, it's later in the year.
Okay.
All right. Robert, you don't have any other podcasts you're doing these days, right?
No, I keep wanting to do the fucking YouTube thing. Like, it's up here. I just have to fucking do it.
Okay. Jesse, what's going on in the Source Material podcast feed?
Well, yeah, look, if you get a chance, go check out the Source Material Comics podcast feed. We got all sorts of fun stuff going on over there. Most recently, I think it was a Source Material that dropped. I'm pulling it up here just to make sure. It was either Source Material or Unspoken Issues. The Unspoken Issues podcast dropped last Monday, and that was Deathstroke, City of Assassins. Then tomorrow, myself and Mark Radulich get together on the on Source Material, and we talk Joe the Barbarian, another Grant Morrison book. And then we're getting prepared, Mark. In 2 weeks, we're going to be talking Nameless. Oh boy, what a crazy mind fuck that was. So if you get a chance, check that out in a couple weeks. And then, of course, the Marvel mobile game, Marvel Snap, me and Evan Bevins get together and we talk about that once a month. It's called Snap Material. So check that out. That is all I have.
All right. Tomorrow, myself and Robert will be reviewing Crime 101. We saw that today. My son did not love it. My daughter was like, yeah, it's fine. Tuesday, Alexis is reviewing Fallout Season 2. Wednesday, myself, Jesse, and Gavin will be reviewing Sports Night, and we're going to talk about the character that Josh Molina plays and what an asshole he is.
Fucking idiot.
Thursday, Black History Month rolls on. We'll be looking at the Book of Clarence, the American Society of Magical Negroes, and De Clone Tyrone. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. A week from tomorrow, we'll be reviewing Psycho Killer. That'll be myself, Robert, and Jason. Jesse and I will be back for more AI Slop Sessions, Volume 2. We're going to take the BoJack Horseman song and turn it into a Johnny Cash song. It's called "Living Is the Sentence." Did you see the art? Did you see the art for that, Jesse?
I did. I loved it.
How great is that? Hang on. How fucking great is the two kids? They're not going to get it, but
these kids ain't going to get it.
I mean, the only reason I haven't watched BoJack Horseman is because I'm afraid I'll need somebody to watch it with me.
How great is that album cover?
It's so messed up because when I initially looked at it, I didn't see that it was a horse. I thought it was somebody with a really long hair, and then
that's what I was like. Which member of ZZ Top is this supposed to be? And then I saw that it actually formed a muzzle, and I was like, "Oh, that's a horse."
Yeah. So I took the entire BoJack Horseman podcast compressed it down to a song that basically talks about what the theme of BoJack Horseman is, which is like livable depression. And there's like a whole thing. I'll explain it more on sessions. But so the lyrics are done. The style, the style prompt is more or less ready to go. Obviously, I've got the artwork ready for when we're done with it. Living is the Sentence is the next song, and it's based off the podcast review Robert and I did of BoJack Horseman. Let me tell you how that's not the first version of that album cover. Because it started, he wasn't wearing a hat, and there were no letters on it or anything, and he wasn't sad enough. So, the horse was too happy.
Sir, all right, you're like, hey, all right, ChatGPT, or Suno, whatever the fuck you use. I need you to turn the Lexa Pro up.
There needs to be so many more drugs in this picture.
Yeah. It's like, what do you want for an album cover? I'm like, well, what if Johnny Cash was BoJack Horseman and he was so very sad? And they're like, okay. And then I was like, you got to put a hat on the horsey. So,
put the hat on.
Yeah, initially he's not wearing a hat in the picture. So, yes, I'm very proud of this, as I am of all my AI slop. So that'll be a week from Wednesday. And then we've got Jason and I close out Black History Month with a look at Denzel Washington movies. We're looking at Glory, Mo Better Blues, and John Q. And then, but Evan Bevins gets the last word. We're going to be doing a Robert Townsend focus on February 28th to actually close out Black History Month. We're going to be looking at the Hollywood Shuffle, Meteor Man, and the Five Heartbeats.
Meteor Man.
Yeah, that was an Evan Bevins. Evan Bevins is not going to ask me to do anything anymore. He's like, hey, can we talk about Meteor Man? Yes, and 2 other films. I just want to talk about Meteor Man. People should stop asking me for things, because then I will always make it like more than you want to do. So, like, I want to talk about this. Great. Here's 50 more things I'm going to need you to do. You're the worst boss ever. So, all right.
Wait, are we getting paid for this? You guys are getting paid?
Well, acting like Alexis is the phrase that pays here on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. Really? Nobody remembers the whole
I get it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that.
There we go. Finally. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was like, what? Acting like Alexis. Doing cartoon reviews?
My God, he's pulling teeth on this show. All right, folks. For Alexis's boyfriend, Jesse Starcher, for Robert Cooper and Mick, who hate the clankers, I'm going to make more passive-aggressive AI music. Be well,
okay,
and behave.